Welcome to the deep dive.
Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off straight away. This constant churn of player transfers. It basically proves loyalty in football is, well, dead, flatline, kaput. And look, if you think otherwise, you're probably kidding yourself. Speaking of reality checks, you're here for the actual lowdown on today's transfer gossip, right? Without all the clickbait noise, we get it. So we've done the sifting, focused on the moves that actually seem to matter, using the great reporting you can find over at eplnews.org. Our mission today, pretty simple. Cut through the smoke and mirrors, try and figure out what these potential deals really mean.
Exactly. You're not here to chase every rumor, but to look at the transfers that could, genuinely shift things. What really strikes me is just this constant need for change. Clubs seem locked in this loop, buy, sell, repeat. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? In this chase for the next big thing, are they losing something? I don't know, more fundamental.
Right, okay. Let's dive in then. Liam Delap, he's the 22-year-old Ipswich striker, English lad. Getting attention from Newcastle, okay, but apparently Man United are leading the chase. And Chelsea are sort of waiting in the wings, maybe, if United miss out on European football. So here's the controversial bit. Is this constant jumping between clubs actually good for a young player like him? I mean, is Delap better off staying put, being a key player where he is, even if it's, say, Europa League ambitions, rather than potentially, bench warming somewhere supposedly bigger?
That really is the million-dollar question for these young guys, isn't it? The pull of a club like Manchester United is huge, obviously. But are they really offering a clear path to playing regularly? Or is he just another number? Think about it. If he goes to United, gets only a few games here and there, is that really better for his growth than being the guy at Ipswich? And Chelsea's interest apparently hinging on United's European spot. That tells you something, too. It sort of suggests that any top-level European football is the main thing, maybe even over guaranteed minutes on the pitch.
Okay, sticking with players everyone wants. Milos Kerkez, Bournemouth's left back, 21, Hungarian international. Reportedly, it's Manchester City versus Liverpool fighting for him. And here's a thought, might annoy some people. Are Bournemouth basically just becoming a talent farm for the big Premier League clubs, just developing players for City and Liverpool to come and pick off? Or, is this just smart business selling high on players they found?
Well, yeah, that's the ecosystem of the Premier League, isn't it? Clubs like Bournemouth, they operate with certain financial realities. Finding and nurturing talent like Kerkez, that is a vital income stream for them. Fans might hate seeing good players leave, sure, but those sales often fund the next round of signings. And from Kerkez's view, the chance to join a City or a Liverpool challenging for trophies, playing Champions League, it's hard to turn down. It's a system, yeah? Maybe frustrating for some clubs, but it also shows how competitive the league is.
Let's switch to Brighton. They seem to have found the transfer market cheat code or something. They've reportedly picked up Olivier Boscali, French defender, 27, from PSV Eindhoven, on a free. I mean, come on. Can they keep doing this? Just finding quality players for nothing? Are other clubs just asleep? Or do Brighton have some kind of secret scouting network? Is it sustainable, though, really?
Brighton's success, it's really down to very careful scouting and a really clear idea of how they want to play. They find players who fit their system, players who maybe other clubs overlook or undervalue. Getting someone like Boscali with his experience for free, that's undoubtedly a smart piece of business, but, relying only on free transfers, that has limits. To consistently challenge higher up, you usually need to spend significant money both buying and keeping top players. So it's clever, yeah, but maybe not a guarantee for breaking into that top tier long term.
Okay, now Liverpool. Reports say they're getting interest from the Saudi Pro League for 3 attackers: Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz. Wow. So the big question everyone's asking, is the Saudi League becoming a genuine new force? Or is it just a very well-paid retirement home for players past their peak?
Yeah, this really touches on the whole direction of the Saudi Pro League. The money's obviously there. They can attract established names, even some players still in their prime. But can they build something sustainable? A league that's genuinely high quality, competitive, beyond just the big name signings that's still up in the air, I think. For European clubs, it definitely adds a new factor to the transfer market somewhere to sell players, maybe eventually a competitor for buying talent too.
Manchester United again. Linked with Matheus Cunha from Wolves. Brazilian forward, 25. The fee, $62.5 million apparently paid in installments. And here's the cynical take. Are United just always overpaying? Paying for potential, not proven, consistent quality? Are they just constantly chasing the next big thing and paying way over the odds?
Well, if you look at United's recent transfers, there's definitely a pattern of spending huge amounts without always getting the results on the pitch to match. Investing that much in Kuna, even in installments, it's a massive commitment. He's shown flashes at Wolves, definitely, but can he do it week in, week out at Old Trafford? Under that kind of pressure, for that money. It's a big gamble. Their track record, yeah, it suggests maybe a bit of caution wouldn't go amiss.
And it seems they want another forward, too, also linked with Victor Gyökeres, the Sporting striker. Sweden international, 26. Now, let's be honest here. How often does a player come straight from the Portuguese league and just, bang, tear up the Premier League immediately? It's a massive step up. Physically, intensity-wise, loads have struggled. Is this just another risky bet from United?
That jump from Portugal to the Premier League, it can be really tough.
Yeah.
Gyökeres' goal record for Sporting is, well, it's fantastic, no doubt. But the Premier League demands something different. More physical, tactically demanding, relentless pace. History's got plenty of examples. Players who were stars in one league but just couldn't quite adapt to England. It's definitely a risk United would need to weigh up very carefully.
Right. Meanwhile, Aston Villa fans might be getting a bit nervous. Whispers that Emi Martinez, their World Cup winning keeper, he might be thinking about leaving if, his ambitions aren't matched at Villa Park. And this brings up that tricky subject, doesn't it? Should players put their own career goals first, even if it means leaving a club that's really backed them? Where does loyalty actually fit in modern football?
It's that classic clash, isn't it? Clubs invest in players, help them develop. But players have their own ambitions, their own career paths. If Martinez feels he needs, say, Champions League football to push on, that's ultimately his call to make. But yeah, it does highlight how transactional football can be these days. Player loyalty, it can seem quite fluid sometimes.
The race for young talent never stops. Chelsea are apparently talking to Ajax about Jurel Hato, 19-year-old Dutch defender. But they're not the only ones. Liverpool, Arsenal, also keen, reports say. So here's something for those clubs to think about. Are they actually harming these youngsters' development, throwing them into these high-pressure clubs too early? Or maybe they won't get enough game time and it stunts their growth.
Yeah, there's a real concern there. The pressure on young players moving to massive clubs so early. The facilities might be amazing, the coaching top level, but often the most important thing for development is just playing regularly, consistent minutes. Hato needs to figure out which club offers the best mixed high-level competition, yes, but also a realistic chance of playing first-team football. A big move isn't always the best move right away.
Over in Spain, Barcelona seem to have locked down Rafinha. Brazilian forward, 28, new deal until 2028. In a time when contracts seem to be getting shorter, that kind of link stands out. But you have to ask, is this Barca showing real long-term faith? Or is it just a smart business move? Protect the asset, maybe get a bigger fee later if they sell.
Well, long-term contracts these days, they can serve a few different purposes, can't they? Security for the player, sure, but for the club, it protects their investment, strengthens their hand if other teams come knocking. With Rafinha extending his deal, it could mean they see him as vital for the future. Or, yeah, it could just be about maximizing his value if they do decide to sell down the line. Often, it's probably a bit of both.
Okay, back to the Premier League. The managerial merry-go-round is definitely spinning. Strong rumors about Nuno Espirito Santo at Nottingham Forest might be out because of, internal clashes at the club. Which makes you think, how much should boardroom politics or, behind-the-scenes stuff decide a manager's future, especially when he just kept them up?
It really shows how volatile managing a football club can be. Success isn't just about results. Managers have to navigate all these complex relationships, the club hierarchy. Internal tensions can destabilize everything, undermine the manager no matter what they achieve on the pitch. It definitely raises questions about how much stability and support managers actually get, even when they hit their targets.
And speaking of managers potentially leaving, Leicester City. Newly promoted, reportedly considering sacking Ruud van Nistelrooy, the guy who just got them promoted. And they're supposedly in advanced talks with Russell Martin, the former Southampton boss. Now, if this happens, wow. Are Leicester just being ruthless, trying to guarantee Premier League survival? Or is it a massive knee-jerk reaction that could actually backfire? What does this say about the insane pressure on promoted teams?
If Leicester did part ways with Van Nistelrooy right after promotion, that would be incredibly quick and potentially very risky. It just underlines that immense pressure, doesn't it? Promoted clubs aren't just trying to survive. They're expected to push on immediately. Looking at someone like Martin with recent Premier League experience maybe suggests they want to hit the ground running.
Right.
But it also makes you question, continuity. Changing manager right now could cause huge disruption. It's a real high-stakes gamble if they go through with it.
This has been a Transfer News Deep Dive brought to you by EPLnews.org. Just trying to make some sense of this crazy, often baffling world of football deals.
Yeah, we've covered quite a bit, from the uncertainty around young players like Delap and Hado to big club strategies, the Saudi influence, Brighton's smart deals, and then, of course, the manager's under pressure.
And it all sort of circles back to that first point, doesn't it? That maybe uncomfortable idea. With all this constant chopping and changing players, managers, what does it actually mean for the soul of our clubs, for their long-term identity? Something to think about.
Indeed. That relentless drive for success in modern football. It often feels like it prioritizes the short term over, maybe stability and tradition.
These stories and plenty more football news are all there for you to read in full over at EPLnews.org. Thanks for diving deep with us today.